do an exercise. So what we're gonna do, yeah, bottom one, right? Cool. Everybody get out your journal, your notebooks, and we're gonna like really tighten the ship here and get very clear on like exactly who we're targeting, who we're not targeting, and then we'll use this for a bunch of the other stuff today too. But essentially it's gonna be very, very simple. And what we're gonna do is map out the transformation. So we wanna get very clear when we're selling anything, like we're not selling the product, we're selling the transformation that the product enables. So another principle I like to follow is like, they don't care what you do, they only care what you can do for them. So if you go out just flashing all your product, like all the features of your thing, it's kind of like features versus benefits, right? You want to sell the benefits, sell the vision, sell this, and how different life is going to be on the other side of using your thing. So in order to do that, we got to get very clear. We're going to map out their current situation, point A. This is going to be stuff like, what are their pains? What are their problems? What are their fears? What are their beliefs? How do they spend their time? How much money are they making? Anything like that. Get as clear as you can. Like, pretend you have your target audience right here. You drill into their brain. You open it up and you're looking right inside. What's happening? What's going on in there? How are they feeling? How do they spend their time? How do they feel about their situation? How long have they been here for? Get very, very clear and very specific. And the more specific you can get, the better. And another thing too, one second, and we'll get to that. Another thing too is like, it's important to get very clear on exactly who the person is. Because like for my example, let's say this is like, one second. This is coaches doing 5 to 20K a month. Well, if we go back, that means this is not people between 0 and 5K a month. Because these guys are gonna have much different pains, problems, fears, beliefs, thoughts than this crowd, right? So it's very important to get very clear and specific on exactly who they are, where they're at in their journey, and what they're going through. Logan, you had a question?
Yeah, I was going to say, so pains, problems, fears, beliefs,
yeah.
Of the people that will then go on to, buy your book, your prospects. So possible clients that would bring them to come to you.
Yeah, so for you, like with your record label, would be like, what types of artists would you want to work with? Where are they at in their music career right now? Like, how many songs or records are they putting out? Do they have a label already? Do they not have one? Have they worked with one in the past? Do they have an agent? Do they not? Right, get very, very clear. And then we're gonna use this. Like this helps us with our offer and stuff like that, but it has a huge impact on our marketing and our sales too, down the road. So yeah, get very clear with exactly who you wanna help and who you don't wanna help. Does that make sense? Yeah. So on the left, pains, problems, fears, beliefs, how they spend their time right now, how much money they're making, basically what keeps them up at night. That's the biggest thing. What keeps them up at night? Like when you're going to build an offer, the best things you can do, solve a painful problem for an audience that has money, that's easy to find online. That's a magnifying glass. Sherlock Holmes for the British guys here. So anyways, number one though is the painful problem. If you build something because you want to build it, because you think it's cool, it's probably gonna flop because it's not solving the painful problem. The more pain the problem is that you're solving, the easier it's gonna be to sell. The more money they have, like it's a hell of a lot easier to sell something to people with money than people without money. That's what I've noticed too. When I stopped working with beginners, I stopped getting a lot of money objections. And people have money now because I'm going after people that have money. Surprise. And then on the right, this is basically their desired situation. Where do they want to get to? What do they want life to look like? How much money do they want to make? How do they want their bodies to look? How do they want their life to look? How do they want to spend their time? What kind of freedom do they want? What do they want their business to look like? Anything like that, right? So it's like, what are their goals? What are their hopes? What are their dreams? How much money do they want to be making? How do they want to spend their time? Just desired situation, right? So map that out. So most of the guys I work with kind of doing 5 to 20K a month. They want to get to 30 to 50K a month. The biggest thing for them, consistency, right? It sucks relying on referrals, organic, because it's unpredictable, it's inconsistent. They just want that consistency, right? They want profitability. They want time freedom, location freedom, financial freedom, all that stuff. And a lot of what's gonna be on the right side, the desired situation, is gonna be kind of just opposites of the left. So that said, who wants to kind of volunteer? And we'll just rip through one of you guys right now. Okay.
So I essentially am currently working with a client that's kind of fits the problem that clients that I want to work with. But what I wanted to do is implement systems for him that better kind of a system because he relies on organic and it's like you said, it's very predictable and consistent. And a lot of things that I hear from him, it's like, first of all, she leads. He can't afford these services. He's a dating coach. He sells a product for like 3K or something like that. And anyway, so yeah, he's like one of the ideal clients for me.
Okay.
That's who I want to work with. But he likes my service and whatever. But the thing is that he's always he tells me that even though I charge about 2.5K a month, he's at 15K profit, and he still like feels that thing because like feels that like I'm charging 2.5K and it's like it's still there, but he's willing to take it. So I'm so making 15K, he wants to go to 50. What else is there?
Why does he want to get to 50? Ask him that.
Essentially just financial freedom for him.
Okay.
Because I want to say he's like a simple guy, but like, if he was at 15K, he probably wouldn't want to get to 50K if he was just like, oh, that's enough.
Yeah.
What else?
It might be kind of hard for you to kind of read his mind a little bit.
Yeah.
The best way to know this stuff, ask him.
Yeah.
Ask your audience on sale. Like for my first lot of sales calls, I kind of just treat them as like free market research calls. Ask the hard questions. Ask like, oh, you want to get to 50K? Oh, why? Why that number specifically? What would that be able to do for you that you can't do right now? How would life be different? What effect would that have on other areas of your life? Right? And then you're really creating that contrast. So this not only helps us with like our offer and our marketing, but also helps with sales too. Because when you understand kind of where they're at right now, where they want to get to, what we can do is we position our business, the thing that we're selling, as the vehicle that's going to get them from A to B. And when they clearly see that in their minds, you as that vehicle, they can just hop in your vehicle and you'll take them right to the promised land. They'll pay you a lot of money. So by the sounds of it, like your kind of problem right now, I'd say maybe you're not solving a painful enough problem.
I agree with that, sure.
Right? Because, or maybe it's like kind of, it's very indirect. He wants to get to there. He can kind of see, yeah, I need better content. But it's kind of like you're just in the private conversation we had, you kind of mentioned it's like, it's hard to track and it's hard to link your content and your editing to his growth and sales.
I think we got into it more in FOMO, and your concept is fucking strong. Like by creating content for them, and then having appointment settings book calls, like that's a strong concept. However, what I was saying to you is a bit outdated. Fuck the appointment settings. Get a couple guys on ads, and you're running this content. You're boosting their fucking reels. that is how you track metrics, because it's
100%.
yeah, the offer's way more.
If he's getting shit leads and you can just make one reel ad, boost it, that's very clear and specific on the audience and the messaging, and then you'll attract a lot more of that. And then the content the content you do make, and I'll get into this in the middle of the funnel thing too, is gonna be very, very targeted, and you're gonna help coach him on what kind of content to make that does the pre-selling for you or for him, that repels the people that don't have money, that gets them to actually want to take action and want to invest in themselves, and you're kind of molding his audience into the ideal customer. And we're gonna get into some really black mark, like some ninja shit today. Yeah.
CTAs, like coaching on what to say.
Yeah, because right now, Houston, it's like you're just kind of you're covering this, just Instagram reels, right? And then the rest is kind of like.
And he's got good content, but
yeah,
his call to actions could be stronger.
Yeah.
The length of the videos could be a bit shorter. Like I think it's a bit. So there's a lot of like I definitely get coaching on a lot of things in terms of like content itself and all of that, but a bit difficult to work with. But I don't want to like because it's one of the first clients and first case studies. I kind of still want to stay on more with it for a while until I'm able to acquire new clients. Because we did grow his account from like 100K to like 330K, but like you should be able to scale that distribute more revenue.
Yeah. Fuck, man.
I mean, we increased our revenue by 25%. Like the numbers are there.
Yeah.
30K on average to 40K. But for example, like last month,
Yeah.
it went back like 20K or something like that.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot you could be.
I think it's like the content, like
yeah,
nailing down
100%.
smooth way of content.
It's all going to be in the middle of the funnel. You kind of warm them up, and we'll get into that in a minute here too. You can coach them on that, teach them how to do it at scale. Let's say you have 20 clients. It's going to be a lot of time, one-on-one. Hey, bro, you should do this. Build a course. Send your clients through the course. Here's how to make really good content. If you're serious about this, here's how you should be intentional with every single piece of content you make, right? Because probably right now, a lot of the content you're making is like kind of hoping to go viral, right? But a lot of that lacks kind of like this. It's just focus on that.
We do some hyper specific ones like calling the audience up, like this. Anyway, we should be talking about my own personal brand, not about
it helps. The same principles will apply to both. Yeah.
So going back to that anyway to that. So
yeah.
After working with this guy, I kind of see that sort of the problems and where they want to go. I can understand.
Yeah, like he probably wants more leads, calls,
like
higher quality. Yep. So quality, quantity, leads, which then ties into money.
The other thing is like status. Like he like not him, but I know that a lot of people who are making content, they are afraid of like presenting their content because it's like low quality and it's lower status in everybody else's eyes.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like having better quality content is definitely increases that.
Okay.
That's one of the reasons probably he can't go back to making iPhone videos after working with me.
Yeah, you kind of lock them in there. Yeah, solid. Okay. Cool. So basically, then what you're selling for you specifically is you're selling status, right? Help this guy go from 100K to 300K. The quality of his content's way better. That's naturally going to attract a lot more leads. And if you actually help him with his messaging too, that's going to help convert these leads into calls, into sales. So I think if you take a more holistic approach rather than like I think maybe like for you specifically, you got to kind of make the transition from a content editor or producer to somebody who helps people scale their businesses with content.
Like a great formula.
Yep.
So my idea is to essentially not like label myself, but what I had this in my mind for a while is setting up essentially like personal brand funnels.
Yeah.
So like leveraging a personal brand as a funnel. Yeah, something like that.
That's all this is.
Yeah. So
that's all. Yeah. That's all I do.
Yeah. But my idea was just like with doing organic content and so on. But this is supposed to be shipping pretty good. Do you write their scripts and stuff like that? The what? Their scripts. I help them with that, with notes and everything like that. So.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, yeah. So basically, at the end of the day, we want to get very clear with who we want to help, where they're at right now, where they want to get to, and who we don't want to help. So, like, let's just say, like, for Barney, for example, like, if we were to do this for you, you probably want guys doing a certain amount of income, right? They've been in business for a certain amount of time. They've got a certain amount of status, maybe specific industries, maybe not. But maybe they feel lonely, right? Maybe they don't have a big network. Maybe they don't enjoy life as much as they want to be, right? Maybe they sit at home, keeps them up at night. It's like, fuck, man, I'm grinding, I'm making all this money for what though, right? They feel miserable. They get fulfillment from their work, but then it's like, it's kind of an imbalance. So that's the pain you need to dig into, right? And then over here, it's like, you gotta build their network, making lots of connections. They're probably gonna be making even more money as well. They're gonna have a hell of a time. Life's gonna be good. Basically, they're going from here to this, right? They might feel, especially at that caliber where they're at, there aren't many people like that as well they relate to or that they know. So what you're helping them do is find their tribe, basically. Find their circle. Find the people that are like them, see the world the same way.
Give them a home.
Give them a home, exactly. Because right now they probably feel like they might not have one. So the more specific you can get with that, the better.